The fault is at your father and being the son and also yours. So then Pruthumara said, oh, don't worry, you produce, I'll perform continuous yajnas. So he wanted to perform yajna after yajna, but however, during the 100th yajna, Indra kind of created obstacles. Then Pruthumara stopped at 99. But Pruthumara's son taken a vow that I'll perform lifelong yajnas. So he used to perform all the yajnas, and his son was Antardani, and his son name itself is Havirdani. Havirdani means he is the one who gives Havis, Avishana, or ghee, or we can say in the form of dana. That means he continuously performs yajna after yajna, offering ghee into the fire sacrifice. And then Havirdani's son is Prachina Barihi. Because it is a family legacy, his fathers and forefathers were performing yajna continuously. He was also performing yajna continuously. Somehow or other, by the influence of time, Kalena Jarasam Gata. By the influence of time, the things become old. The purpose with which Prutu Maharaj was performing yajna is to worship Lord Vishnu. And now, the purpose with which Prachina Barhi performing yajna is, hey, it is our family tradition. We should do it. The purpose got changed. So, in order to reinstate that purpose and adopt the change in the process of executing bhakti in due course of time, Narada Muni has come and trying to inspire Prachinabari to take up bhakti. But Prachinabari is not in a mood to take up bhakti directly. So, in order to inspire him, Narada Muni is teaching him a story. Listen to the story and understand the essence of that story, and then change your conceptions. So, whatever conceptions you have about the life, about the purpose of life, being a king, change it and adopt the right means to progress in spiritual life. For that, he talks that story of a Puranjana. Pura Ranjayati iti Puranjana. He who stays in the Navadvara Pura for the purpose of enjoyment is called Puranjana. So Puranjana story is not the story of some Puranjana, someone called as Puranjana in the old times. No, it is the story of each and every Jivatma. All of us are residing in the body of 9 gates. Navadvara Pure Dehi. Pura Tishtati iti Purusha. So it is our story. It is the story of Prachinabari. It is our story. It is all of our story, your story, my story, and everyone's story. So it is explained nicely in an allegorical way in the form of a beautiful city having 9 gates. Inside the city, there are so many bungalows and playgrounds, roads, junctions, weddings, sitting places, meeting places, eating places, etc. etc. And there are 9 gates through which one can come out. And outside the city, there are all pleasing atmosphere, waterfalls, lakes, gardens, uh, flowers, fruits, bumblebees, birds singing, animals dancing, etc. So many things. Everything is beautiful to look at. So this is how the body has been described. Inside the body and outside the body, what is there? Everything has been described as an allegorical way. And the one who is looking for a place to reside is Puranjana. The one who is already residing in that city is Puranjani. Puranjani is represented by intelligence and chitta. And she had 11 assistants, that 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, and mind. And the entire city was protected by 5 hooded snake, the Pancha Pranas, headed by breathing. Uh, and then the 11 associates of Puranjani consists of hundreds of maid servants, which indicate the activities of the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and mind. So then there is a discussion about the meeting places, this, that, etc., etc. And Puranjani promised that, please, my dear king, I was looking for a suitable husband. You seems to be the suitable husband. Please marry me and stay in this city. and we guarantee you all kinds of enjoyment which you are looking for. And Puranjana also looking for Puranjani. And he was very happy that Puranjani is coming on her own and trying to offer. And he says, I am such a powerful king and I can offer you all protection. And I would like to stay here in your company, like something like that. So both got married and they are staying there. And Puranjana sometimes stays inside the city, sometimes goes out of the city through the 9 gates. When he goes out of the city, when king cannot go alone, he will take some of his associates with him. So like that he said, through 2 gates he goes out to see beautiful scenes. Gates he goes out to hear beautiful music. Through one gate he goes out to taste wonderful footsteps or to speak some wonderful words. And through 2 gates uh, he want to experience wonderful fragrance. And through 2 gates he goes out to experience the happiness of evacuating and begetting children, etc., etc. Like that, the 9 holes of the body have been described in a story form that is there. But however, because he himself accepted the company or association of Puranjani, and Puranjani promised that I will provide you all the enjoyment. So, so Puranjana is trying to provide him all the enjoyment by performing various activities, and Puranjana simply followed her because Puranjana said, "Please give me enjoyment," and Puranjana is providing the enjoyment. He simply has to accept. So, enjoyment in the form of sleeping, eating, walking, running, and so many things. So many things are there beside. Whatever Puranjana does, Puranjana is simply following after Puranjani or imitating Puranjani. So, like that, they did wonderful and they spent their time wonderfully in this particular place. So that's how the first chapter, that means 25th chapter of this allegorical story completed. So Puranjana simply following Puranjani, and as a result of that he forgot who he was. Now his life is only revolving around Puranjani. Whatever Puranjani is simply doing, and life is going on like that. So it last verse said that specifically conditioned by the queen, cheated of his own nature, the foolish king Puranjana, though he did not want to, but followed her like a pet animal because of falling under Puranjani's control. Eventually, he was feeling like I'm the king, I'm the monarch, I'm the independent, I'm Swatantra, this, that. But unknowingly, having surrendered to Puranjani, he became her subservient, which he never wanted previously. But now he does not know that he became subservient. He was simply engaging various activities that Puranjani is engaging him in, and following her and experiencing the joy of life in her company, in the company of Puranjani and her mates, her friends, associates, and maid servants, living in that city of 9 gates, sometimes going out of the city, sometimes wandering inside the city. He had a nice time. That was the general life of Puranjana. So, in that general lifestyle of Puranjana, one day there is some diversion took place. Some unexpected thing happened. So what is that? What are the consequences of that unexpected thing that happened in his life is the subject matter of 26th chapter. So what was that unexpected thing? That Puranjana goes for hunting and his king becomes angry because he goes for hunting not along with his wife. He goes alone for hunting with some army soldiers, etc. That is the problem. In the 26th chapter, the Jiva gives a proper intelligence by the influence of Tamoguna and then regains it. So now, though the chapter is entitled as hunting, here hunting means in the allegorical story the king is going for hunting. But in reality, the meaning is the Jivatma giving up dharma, take the shelter of adharma or performs adharmic activities. Hunting is similar, nothing but performing sinful activities, performing adharmic activities. So that is the subject of 26th chapter. So let us discuss. So it contains 26 verses only, small chapter only, but big import is there. So we need good amount of time to discuss this. Narada Uvacha
नारद उवाच
स एकदा महेश्वासो
स एकदा महाश्वासो
रतं पञ्चाश्वमासुगम्
तं पञ्चाश्वमासुगम्
पीशं द्विचक्रम् एकाक्षम्
ईशं द्विचक्रम् एकास्तं
त्रिवेणुं
काक्षं
पञ्चबन्धुरम्
त्रिवेणुं पञ्चबन्धुरम्
एकरश्मि एकदमनम्
एकरश्मि एकदमनम्
एकनीडं द्विकूबरम्
एकनीडं द्विपूबरम्
पञ्चाप्रहरणं सप्तवरूतं सवि पञ्चप्रहरणं सप्त
पञ्चप्रहरणं सप्त
वरूतं पञ्चविक्रमम्
पर्वतं पञ्चविक्रमम्
हैमोपस्करम् आरुह्य
हैमोपस्फुरम् आरुह्य
स्वर्णवर्माक्षये शुधि
स्वर्णवर्माक्षये शुभिः येषुधिः
एकादशा च मूनाता
एकादश चामु नाथ
पञ्चप्रस्थम् अगाध्वनम्.
पञ्चप्रस्थम् अगाध्वन्. The great sage Narada continued, My dear king, once upon a time, King Puranjana took up his great bow and equipped with golden armor and a quiver of unlimited arrows and accompanied by 11 commanders. He sat on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses and went to the forest named Panchaprastha. He took with him in the chariot 2 explosive arrows. The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. On the chariot were 3 flags, 1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place, 2 poles to which the harness was fixed, 5 weapons and 7 coverings. The chariot moved in 5 different styles, and 5 obstacles lay before it. All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, any voice?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji is
Oh,
offline, I
okay.
think.
Okay, okay.
Hare Krishna, devotees are able to hear me or not?
Now
Now we
here,
are
now here, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Able to
okay.
hear.
Sorry, some internet. There may be some internet issue. So here, King Puranjana boarding a chariot going for hunting. So that is the description. Narada Muni is saying, once upon a time, that is one day, Ekada, that like they were living in a normal life. They got married to each other and they're living in that city because she promised, you stay here for 100 years, I'll provide you all the happiness. Among the 100 years, among those 100 years, one day, one fine day, so the king took up his great bow because the king and equipped with golden armor is going for hunting and an inexhaustible quiver, Akshaya Ishu or Akshaya Turi. Inexhaustible quiver means that carrier or the holder which can keep all the arrows. So which kings keep in the backside of the shoulders. So they take arrow from the behind and then shoot the arrow. So Akshaya Turi means the carrier. Normally we can assume that okay, it can hold some 20-30 arrows. But after 20-30 arrows are over, then king cannot do anything. But Akshaya Turi is that which as many arrows you take, that many new arrows will be produced. It will never become empty. That is called Akshaya Turi. Arjuna in the Mahabharata got Akshaya Turi. Two Akshaya Turis, not one. One on the right shoulder, one on the left shoulder, because Arjuna is Sabyasachi. He can fight with both hands. When he is holding the bow in the right hand, he would take the arrows from the right shoulder Akshaya Turi. But when he is holding the bow with the right hand, he would throw the arrows with the left hand. So he would take the arrows from the Akshaya Turi on the left shoulder, from behind the left shoulder. So it becomes easy to carry, easy to catch. So like that. Because Arjuna is Akshaya of Sabyasachi, he needed two Akshaya Turis. So two Akshaya Turis were given by Agnidev during the Kandava Dahan episode. So Arjuna always carries two Akshaya Turis. The arrows will never empty. Otherwise, behind the chariot of any warrior, there are so many other bullock carts, horse carts carrying different weapons. As soon as the weapons are over in the Akshaya Turi or in the chariot in which the warrior is driving, they will load from behind so that the war would continue. Otherwise, if the king becomes empty of all the weapons, he can't fight more. He will be killed by the warrior. So that was the thing. So here, because he's a powerful king, he also had Akshaya Turi, Akshaya Ishudi, accompanied by a commander among the 11, Ekadasha Shamu Nata. So he was accompanied by 11 commanders, and he his chariot में बैठ गए. The gold chariot had two shafts, two wheels, one axle, three flags, five supports, one rein, one chariot driver, one sitting place, two poles to which the yoke was fixed, five weapons, and seven protective coverings. The chariot of widespread exploits moved to five destinations. The chariot is very well known because it performs wonderful activities. Like Arjuna chariot is very well known. So many weapons in the Mahabharata battle, the chariots have been destroyed. The chariot belonging to other warriors have been destroyed by one arrow. Just by throwing one single arrow, the chariot would be broken into pieces. Or Bhima, when Bhima throws his gada, by the hit of that gada, the chariot of the opponent person would be broken to pieces. Many times Bhima would be had broken the chariot of Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and Duryodhana, Dushasana, many other warriors' chariots have been broken apart into pieces by Bhima's gada or Arjuna's arrows. But Arjuna's chariot was never broken into pieces. How many number of arrows or any other weapon was thrown by any other warrior, Arjuna's chariot was not broken into pieces. There are two reasons. One reason is Arjuna's chariot was given by Agnidev. It was a heavenly chariot. The second reason is Lord Krishna was himself seated on the chariot as the chariot driver. It was never broken apart during the 18 days of the battle. So that was the special wonderful exploits. And now Puranjana, being seated on the chariot, going for hunting to a place known as Panchaparstha. So like that. For the purpose of performing five wonderful activities, Pancha Vikramam. So that is like that. So what is the meaning of all these things? We'll understand now. What is the meaning of this? In the story, there's a chariot and all these things are wonderfully indicated. But from the point of view of Jivatma, what they meant is explained in the notes. Here you can see a normal chariot. Not exactly chariot, we can say is bullock cart type this is. So this is shaft and this is yoke, this is the carriage, these are the wheels, this is the axle, spokes, etc. etc. This is normal this thing. So now, so what is the understanding of Puranjana going for hunting? Though the jiva has discrimination and a sense of dharma, by fate, at some time or other, hmm, by the arousal of tamoguna, the jiva loses his discrimination and becomes attached to forbidden objects, forbidden by Shastra. This is shown by describing the body, greedy for enjoyment, as a chariot. So, Jivatma is supposed to perform dharma, supposed to be abide by the instructions of dharma always. But for that, one need to be in Satvaguna. Only when we are in Satvaguna, we can follow the scriptural injunctions. But when we are attacked by Tamoguna, we want to deviate from the dharmic instructions, and go away from dharmic places and perform sinful activities. That happens once in a while when we are attacked by Tamoguna. So this is shown by describing the body greedy for enjoyment as a chariot. The chariot is nothing but our body. In the previous chapter, the body has been compared with the city of 9 gates. So in this chapter, the body is compared to a chariot. How this comparison is mentioned in the 3 shlokas. The king at one time got onto the chariot and went to the forest towards 5 destinations, Panchaprastham, which indicate 5 sense objects. So the Ratha is human body. The place he went, Panchapasta, is nothing but the places of 5 sense objects. What are the 5 sense objects? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the 5 places where the Jivatma wanted to go and perform sinful activities. He had a bow, which indicates absorption in being the doer and enjoyer. A warrior will be known as a warrior by the weapon he holds. Arjuna holds bow. Bhima holds gada. Yudhishthira holds balla. Nakula and Sahadeva holds swords and all. That's how they are known as the warriors. Arjuna is expert at fighting with bow and arrow. Bhima is expert at fighting with gada. Yudhishthira is expert at fighting with balla. And Nakula and Sahadeva are expert at fighting with swords. That is their expertise. The kind of weapon they hold, they are known what kind of person. Same way your bow indicates, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. This is my expert, like that. The 5 horses are the 5 knowledge senses which travel quickly. The 5 horses which drive the chariot are like the 5 senses which are pushing us. Go here, take this. The eyes are seeing something, I say that go there and see it closely. The ear tells the go there and hear that music. The tongue says that go and eat that food. Sorry, today is fasting day. Fasting till noon also. I think very soon, 12 o'clock, our fasting is about to end. We can have water and other things also. So like that. So like that, the 5 senses are instigating us, go and do this, go and do this, go there and do this. Same way, the 5 horses drive the chariot. That means the 5 senses drive the body to a particular sense object. So which travel quickly. There are 2 shafts on the chariot. This is I and these are mine. These are the 2 wheels, Dvichakram. Sinful and there are 2 wheels, sinful and pious activities. Because on 2 wheels only the chariot runs. Same way, even though the 5 hours are pulling, but the chariot runs on 2 wheels. Same way, even though the 5 sense objects are pulling and 5 senses are instigating to travel,
Hare Krishna.
devotees are able to hear me?
Yes, now we are able to
Prabhuji,
hear
no
you.
voice since 1-2 minutes. There was no voice.
Oh, like that, huh? So now you are able to hear me, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right here. And bow.
Hare Krishna.
Here.
Voice is going off and on, Prabhuji.
Hare bol. Hare bol, anyone here?
Yes, Mataji, can't hear.
We
No, can't hear,
Can't
no?
hear.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
Prabhuji, I think is offline.
Okay,
Prabhuji
okay.
is not there. Prabhuji is not there. He is not there.
Hari bol, Prabhuji is offline only, na? Hari bol.
Yes,
Yeah,
offline.
he
I
is.
think so,
Yeah,
Mataji.
yeah, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
He's
Mataji.
still offline. Can anyone call him and ask? Prabhuji, can you call and ask?
He's restarting his device. He's restarting his device. He just sent a message in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, we done. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji can't hear you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I think Prabhuji has not joined yet.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Who just put a message again in the group. He's not able to join. He's dropping again and again.
Hare Krishna. Devotees are able to hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I think there is some problem, unknown problem. So we'll continue. So we were discussing how Puranjana's going to hunt on a chariot is like a Jivatma is going for performing sinful activities. So how the chariot has been compared with a body has been described here. We just saw that the Ratha is compared to the body and the destiny of that Ratha, Panchaprastha, is compared to the 5 sense objects. The 5 horses which are driving the Ratha are compared to the 5 Jnanendriyas, which run very swiftly, just like our 5 senses looking at 5 sense objects which instigate us. Get it very quickly. No delay. It's like that. And here, a king is known by its weapon. The weapon which he carries is what indicates what kind of king is he. Here, the king is carrying the bow, just like Arjuna is carrying the bow. So, in that way. And then, there are 2 shafts on the chariot, Dvisham, ego and possessiveness, and there are 2 wheels, Vichakram, sinful and pious acts. So, our existence depends upon Ahankara and Mamakara. The 2 shafts. The shafts are very important things which are connecting the horses with the carrier. The 2 shafts. So, ego and possessiveness, Ahankara, Mamakara. This is me and these are mine. This is me, these are mine. These are the 2 emotions which are driving us throughout our life. And though the 5 horses are driving the chariot, but the chariot runs on the 2 wheels. The 2 wheels are indicating pious activities and impious activities, dharmic and adharmic activities. Whatever activities we do, sometimes they could be dharmic, sometimes they could be adharmic. And the axle with which the 2 wheels are connected, that is ekaksham, there is only one axle, that is pradhana. Pradhana means prakruti, the material nature, which is the source of 24 elements with which the entire body is made. Basically, the 3 modes which are acting like the axle, which are connecting the 2 wheels and the carrier, horses, everything put together in that way. And there are 3 flags on the chariot, 3 venim, that are indicative of 3 gunas. The flag indicates who is that person. The flag indicates which country is that place. Here the 3 flags are 3 gunas. That means this entire body is driven by 3 modes, or this entire body is made up of 3 modes. So in that way. It has 5 supports, Pancha Bandhuram, which are indicative of 5 life airs, prana, apana, samana, vyana, udana. All our karmic activities are performed by the activities of the five karmendriyas are performed by these pancha pranas. So in that way, they are five supports. It has one reen, eka rashmi, the mind. The mind is the rashmi, and one driver, eka damanam, the intelligence, buddhi or chitta. The chariot will have one driver. There is one seat, the heart, in which the driver is seated and also the passenger is seated. And there are two shafts, dvi kubaram, for binding the yoke, namely the lamentation and illusion. The entire carrier, wheels and horses, yoke, everything is connected together with the help of two shafts, dvi kubaram. What are they? Lamentation and illusion, shoka and moha. We are trying to mitigate our shoka. We are performing so many activities under the influence of moha. That is what is binding us to this material body. So in that way, there are five weapons, pancha praharanam, the activities of the five knowledge senses, such as hearing. What are the weapons? Weapon means shooting the arrow and going in the direction. So eyes are seeing something and we want to go there. Ears are hearing something, we want to go there. Nostril is smelling something, we want to go there. Tongue want to taste something, we want to go there. Go to Govinda's, here, there, etc. So like that. There are 7 protective coverings on the chariot. Sapta Varutham, the 7 dhatus. The 7 coverings are there on the chariot. They are corresponding to Sapta dhatus of our body. Tvak, Charma, Mamsa, Rudira, Medo, Majja, Asti. These are the Sapta dhatus. Tvak, Charma, external skin, internal skin, flesh, blood, marrow. This is Asti is bones, Mazza is semen, Meda is marrow. Something like that. All these 7 dhatus which are acting as the coverings on our body. Here is a picture which was made one of our student during our Vidyapit. I have not made, but some students, because this is a exam question, draw as per these 3 verses. Everything is there, you see. Puranjana is here, Akshay Turi is there, Bo is here, the chariot driver, Rashmi, the 5 horses, and then the 2 shafts, the wheel, axle, and everything is there. And the road on which he goes is Panchaprastha to the 5 destinations which will take there. Chariot is the material body made up of 7 dhatus, Majja, Meda, Asti, Rakta, Shukra, etc. etc. Here 5 arrows are there. Axle is Pradhana. 2 special formidable weapons, that is Ahamta and Mamata. 2 wheels, pious and impious activities. 1 seat, that is heart. Bow, I am the enjoyer. 2 pillars, illusion and lamentation. King is Puranjana is Jiva. 3 flags are Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Armor, our inexhaustible quiver is unlimited material desires. Armor, golden armor is nothing but mode of passion. So in that way, the driver is intelligence, rope is mind, the 5 horses are 5 jnanendriyas. So like that. And still some more are still pending. Pancha Vikrama means widespread exploits, the activities of the 5 action senses. And his body is covered in gold. The body is
Haribol,
Mataji.
voice went away, Prabhuji, for 2-3 seconds.
Okay, how long? Few seconds.
No,
Almost
it was
5
okay,
seconds.
Prabhuji. No,
Okay,
it was
okay.
okay.
Okay, few seconds only, no problem. So Pancha Vikrama means the widespread exploits, the activities of the 5 karmendriyas, and it is covered in gold, Haimopaskaram. The other meaning is that Jiva has many material coverings as one puts on clothing to keep warm in winter. So just like in winter we have wore normal clothes and winter clothes upon that, like that, the entire chariot is covered with many coverings. And same way, The Puranjana is covered by Swarna Varma. The golden armor is protection of Rajoguna. And we are also covered by Rajoguna. I want to do this, I want to get this, I want to achieve this. So many ambitions. That is mode of passion. The inexhaustible quiver means infinite desires. Akshaya Ishudi, the carrier of issue, carrier of arrows, unlimited arrows it can carry. That is infinite desires. He has 11 commanders. Eka Dasha Chamu Nata means 10 senses and the mind. The 11th commander is mind. The mind is called the reins because of its desire or impressions. But it is also called the commander because of its power to make decisions. So mind is both the reins of the chariot and mind is also the ministers surrounding the king. All the commanders, senapatis surrounding the king for king's protection. That is also there. And they are ready to do king's activities, king's desires. They are ready to fulfill. He went to a place called Panchaprastha, which means articles containing 5 sense objects. Prastha means plateau or plain. It is a place filled with 5 kinds of objects. So that is called Panchaprastha. Basically the 5 sense objects. So this is the meaning of the verse. What it means, the each word is indicated in the verse is explained. Now I have added some notes to see where else this chariot body analogy has been given. In the Bhagavad Gita it is given, in the Bhagavatam also it is given. So all those things I have compiled them together so that we can have complete information at one go. Here also the chariot body analogy is given. Bhagavad Gita also we see. In the Bhagavatam also we see. So let us see what is that. The Shruti says, why say that Atma is the passenger, body is the chariot, intelligence is the driver, mind is the reins, senses are the horses, sense objects are the pasturing grounds, the enjoyer is the Atma, connected with the senses and mind. This is from Kata Upanishad 1.3.3. This is the shloka. Srila Prabhupada quotes it in 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Ashtanga Yoga chapter. Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. Know that Atma is Rati, the chariot, the one who is the passenger. Shariram Ratamayacha, the body is the Rata. Buddhim tu Saratim Vidhi. Buddhi is Sarati. Buddhi is both intelligence as well as Chitta, both Sarati. Mana Parakamayacha. Mind is Paraka means the ropes which are driving the horses. Indriyani Hayan Ahur. The senses are the 5 horses. Vishayam Teshu Gocharam. The 5 sense objects are the 5 destinations which are seen by the 5 horses. Atmendriya Mano Yukto Bhokta iti Ahur Manishina. Atma Indriya Mano Yukto. Along with mind, senses, and the body. Here Atma is the body. Bhokta iti Ahur. He who says that I am the enjoyer, I am the enjoyer, I am the enjoyer, is the Manishi. He the passenger, he the intelligent passenger. So like that. So this is from Kata Upanishad 133. Then in Bhagavad Gita, in this shloka, when Arjuna says that Chanchalam hi Manakrishna Pramadi Balavadrudam Tasyaham Nigraham Manne Vayoriva Tudushkaram. So the mind is fickle, agitating, strong and firm. I think it is more difficult to control than the wind. It is easy to control the wind than to control the mind. Why controlling the mind is very difficult? Because the mind is carried or pulled by the 5 horses, which is running here and there, just like the chariot is pulled by 5 horses. But then Lord Krishna says, but Arjuna, it is possible to control the mind by discriminating intellect according to the scriptures. If intelligence follows scripture, then it becomes easy to control the mind and senses. When intelligence is not following scriptures, then it is difficult to control the mind and senses. The Shruti says, Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi Shariram Ratamayacha. So in this context, La Prabhupada quotes this shloka from Kata Upanishad and gives that chariot body analogies. Because the soul is the passenger, the body is the chariot. So the driver is the intelligence and the horses are the senses and the rope is the mind. Though Arjuna says mind is uncontrollable, Lord Krishna says, oh, kindly listen. The senses and the mind together, though they are uncontrollable, If the driver is proper, he can control the senses with the help of the mind. Just like the driver can control the horses with the help of the rope. Same way, a dharmic intelligence following the instructions of dharmic scriptures can easily control the uncontrolled senses with the help of the ropes of the mind. So like that, Bhagavad Gita chapter 6 says. So there is another verse which is from Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 15th chapter. In Saturday evening class, we recently discussed this. Ahu Shariram Ratam. So people, the Jnanis say that the body is the chariot. Shariram is Rata. Indriyani Hayan. The senses are the horses. Abhisham, Abhishun, Mana, Indriyesham. The mind, the master of the senses, is the reins. Abhishun, Mana, Indriyesham. Mind is the master of the senses is Abhishun, the controlling rope. The objects of the senses are the destinations. Vartmani, Matra, Dishanam. Sorry, Vartmani, Matra. So the 5 tanmatras are the 5 pathways. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, which are 5 tanmatras, are the 5 paths to travel. Sometimes we go in here to hear something, so that takes the precedence. Sometimes to taste something, sometimes to see something. So like that. And intelligence is the chariot driver. Dishanam, Sutam, Dishanam cha Sutam. So Suta is chariot driver. Who is the chariot driver? Dishanam. Dishanam is intelligence. And consciousness, which spreads throughout the body, made by the Lord, is the seat for the charioteer. Sattvam, Bruhad Banduram, Isha Srishtam. Finally, the most important one, Chitta, or consciousness, which is created by the Supreme Lord, is the seat where the person is seated, the charioteer is seated, the intelligence is seated. So it's like that. Chitta is the ultimate resting place of all these things. So in that way, a resting place of intelligence actually. So both the seat, the driver seat and driver put together is called as Buddhi or Dishanam. So like that. The mind is the master of the senses. It is called the reins. The sense objects are the paths, the places for the senses to go. The chitta is the large because it pervades the entire body. Bruhad. So in that way. It is the seat for the charioteer. Without the chitta, the body becomes incoherent. Because without a sitting place, how can the driver can control the chariot? The chariot cannot stand and control. That will be very difficult. Because chariot itself is moving here and there and going up and down here and there. So without sitting, it is very difficult to drive. Standing, how can you drive? You cannot drive. Same way, without chitta, intelligence cannot function. That is understanding. The creator of the seat and other entities in the body is the Supreme Lord. This entire body is Isha Srushnam, created by the Supreme Lord. So here is another picture of the body, chariot body, and again, this is the yoke, these are the yoke saddle, this is the pole, there are the 2 wheels, this is the axle, so this is the floor or frame, so where the carrier body is there, etc., etc. All these things are there. So this is about the chariot body analogy in 3 verses. Hope you are able to follow this. Anybody has any questions in relation to the 3 verses? Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji.
Other devotees?
No, Prabhuji.
So basically, because since it is a story, you need to explain very regally. The story should be explained with all alliterations, all upamas, everything and all. Same way the king is going for hunting and his entire chariot has been described with each and every thing. Same way, Our entire body is compared to the chariot, consisting of different limbs. And why the king is going for hunting? So what do you mean by hunting? That is explained in the next verse. Chachara mrugayam tatra
चचारां मृगयां तत्र
drupta ateshu karmuka
दृप्त आर्तेषु कार्मुका
vihaya jayam atad araham
विहाय जायम् अतत् अर्हम्
mruga vyasana lalasaha.
मृगा व्यासनलालसः. Translation. It was almost impossible for King Puranjana to give up the company of his queen, even for a moment. Nonetheless, on that day, being very much inspired by the desire to hunt, he took up his bow and arrow with great pride and went to the forest, not caring for his wife. Hare Krishna.
Here the problem comes. He is going to the forest for hunting, but he is not taking his wife. That is a big problem. Why? We will discuss. Fond of hunting. Of course, kings are fond of hunting. There is no problem. Hunting is also authorized as per the Vedic literature to the king. Fond of hunting. Giving up his wife, who was difficult to give up. Full of pride, he took his bow and arrows and went to hunt in the forest. He could have taken his wife. That was the mistake he made. That's why he landed in trouble. Somebody may say, hey, how can we take wife to the hunting? No, many times kings take a wife also to hunting. Here, according to the story, it is hunting, but the internal meaning is hunting means the sin of going out to find another woman, consisting of 5 sense objects. So giving up his wife, so he left his wife at home and going out for hunting. One meaning of hunting is killing animals. Other meaning of hunting, according to the story, according to the context, is he is going to find another woman consisting of 5 sense objects. His arrows are the attachment and repulsion, etc. His bow is absorption and enjoyment. That means absorption in sin. Ishwaroham ham bogi siddhoham balavan sukhi. His wife Puranjani is intelligence, buddhi or chitta, buddhi and or chitta, possessing qualities of dharma. So Puranjani, though she was giving enjoyment to Puranjana for last many years after their marriage, but every enjoyment is given according to dharma only. They were only having dharmic enjoyment till now. As long as they were living in the city, in the company of Puranjani and her 11 attendants or 11 her friends, every enjoyment that Puranjana was going through is all dharmic enjoyment. Everything has been prescribed by Vedic literatures only. But now, for the first time, he is going for hunting. That is not even dharmic hunting, adharmic hunting. Dharmic hunting means he could have taken his wife along with him. He has given up his wife there, the dharmic intelligence, and is going for hunting, find out another woman, adharmic intelligence. And hunting means to perform sinful activities. So that is the understanding. So let us see. Asurim vrittim ashritya
आसुरीं वृत्त्याश्रित्य
Ghoratma Niranugraha
घोरात्मा निरनुग्रह
Nyahanan Nishiter
न्यहनन् निशितेर्बाणेर्
Vaneshu Vanagocharan.
वनेषु वनगोचरान्. Translation. All that time King Puranjana was very much influenced by demoniac propensities. Because of this, his heart became very hard and merciless, and with sharp arrow he killed many innocent animals in the forest, taking no consideration. Hare Krishna.
First of all, he left his wife at home. That means he left his dharmic intelligence at home. And now he is killing animals indiscriminately. That means he is doing sinful activities indiscriminately. Taking shelter of demoniac tendencies with a vicious heart, without compassion, he killed wild animals with his sharp arrows. So, he began to kill wild animals with sharp arrows without any compassion. That is adharma. Indiscriminately is doing. Why adharma? Because he already given up dharmic intelligence at home and now he is accompanied by adharmic intelligence. So he will only perform adharmic activities. So what kind of adharmic activities is doing? He is killing animals with sharp arrows indiscriminately. Even though it is not necessary to kill, he is killing them. Or those animals which are not supposed to be killed, he is killing them. Something like that. He began sinful activities including violence using his arrows of attachment and repulsion. I am the enjoyer, I am the hero, I am the king. So who can stop him? So like that, he began to kill. So here is some picture is there. Even though he left behind dharmic intelligence at home and is accompanied by adharmic intelligence and going to kill all different animals, but there is one person always accompanying him. Even though he never look at that person, that is Paramatma. Paramatma is always there. While doing dharmic activities, Paramatma is watching us. While doing adharmic activities also, Paramatma is watching us. So, like that. So, somebody may say, hey, what is wrong? How can you say adharma hunting? But the king he was allowed to hunt according to scripture. And from the scriptural point of view, because the jiva is an enjoyer, he should enjoy the sense objects. Why criticize him? In the story, king is allowed to hunt. Shastra allows. And the import of the story, the jiva allows some kind of sense enjoyment. How can you say sense enjoyment is sinful and adharmic and wrong, etc.? 3 verses answer. 6, 7, 8. 3 verses answer. When a activity becomes dharmic and when it becomes adharmic. When hunting is dharmic and when hunting is adharmic. Such clear-cut understanding is given in next 3 verses. So anyway, Bhagavad Gita we understand. Dharmic eating is eating Krishna Prasada. Adharmic eating is eating something which is not offered to Lord Krishna. So it is very clear. So now let us see what is dharmic activity, what is adharmic activity. Tirteshu pratidrušteshu
तीर्थेषु प्रतिदृष्टेषु
Raja medyan pashun vane
राजा मेध्यान् पशून् वने
Yavadartam alam lubdo
यावदर्थमलं लुब्धो
hanyad iti niyamyate.
हन्यादिति नियम्यते. If a king is too attached to eating flesh, he may, according to the directions of the revealed scriptures on sacrificial performance, go to the forest and kill some animals that are recommended for killing. One is not allowed to kill animal unnecessarily or without restrictions. The Vedas regulate animal killing to stop the extravagance of foolish men influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance.
You see, there is one word lubda. Lubda comes from loba. Loba means greed. The kings can be greedy for two reasons. Sometimes the king can go for hunting only because he is greedy for hunting. He just want to hunt. He want to have some pleasure in hunting, so he might go. There is a possibility that sometimes the kings are greedy for eating meat. That's why they are going for hunting. In today's circumstance, this may not be relatable so much. If somebody is greedy for meat, why to go for hunting? You can go to shop and purchase. What is the problem? Or you can go to restaurant and eat. But in the old days, it is not the way. In the old days, it is entirely different. So that's why taking the condition or situations of the olden days, these slokas have been described. Consider that. A king who is greedy for meat may kill animals suitable for sacrifice for special shraddha rites only in the forest, and only as much as necessary, and not more. This is how hunting is regulated in the scriptures. Yes, hunting is allowed, but with certain regulations. Those who follow in those regulations, hunting can be done. So there are 6 regulations are given. They are mentioned in this verse. The meaning is this: hunting is not allowed simply because one is passionate. It is restricted. The tendency is limited. 6 rules are shown. Even though king may say that, oh, I am expert at shooting arrows, I can go and hunt as much as I want. No. Even a king go on for hunting under these 6 conditions only, not always. What are the 6 conditions? The first one, if he is very attached to eating meat, alam ludda, he can hunt. So, what do you mean by that? Yes, sometimes the Kshatriyas are allowed to eat meat. For that, they themselves should go on hunting. They should chase some forest animals. They should hunt, and then they can eat their meat, but not directly. First of all, if they are desirous of eating meat, they can go on for hunting and then shoot the animals by their own endeavor, and afterward they can eat. But between these two, there is something more. But should be for Shraddha rites. Whatever animals are hunted, first they should be offered for Shraddha rites. That means Shraddha rites cannot be performed every day. They should be performed only once in a month or once in a year on Amavasya day. That means hunting is regulated. One can only hunt for 12 days in a year. Because there are 12 Amavasyas in a year, only 12 days one can hunt, when Shraddha ceremony can be performed. So there could be some more exceptions also, but generally 12 days, 12 Amavasyas are there. For 12 days one can hunt. So it is restricted. Even though one want to eat meat, one cannot eat meat whenever one want. Only on the Shraddha days only one can eat meat. That is 12 Amavasyas. On special occasions, in addition to the 12 Amavasyas, there could be some special occasions, not for daily Shraddha rites. There are some daily Shraddha rites also there, but not for them. Only 12 Shraddha rites which are on Amavasyas, and plus some special occasions, not always. So 12 plus some special occasions. Maybe special occasions we can give an excess of some 3 to 5. So 12 plus 3 is 15, or plus 12 plus 5, 5 or 6, 18. So some 12 to 15 to 18 times only one can have meat in a year, not more than that. That too a Kshatriya, not everyone. And then only a king can do this, not others, not everyone. Only kings are allowed to do hunting. Only animals suitable for sacrifice should be killed. Not that every animal should hunt, because the animal should be hunted and then they should be offered in Shraddha rites. Only those animals which are suitable for Shraddha rites should only hunted, not every animal. They should run only in the forest, not in the city. Animal को city में लाकर mercilessly one should not kill. One should go to forest and chase them and hunt them. Only those animals which are suitable for Shraddha rites. So like that. And only when required. Not always. Only when required also only. When these animals are too much troubling the nearby city dwellers, then the king should go to forest and hunt, so that there is a balance maintained, so that the animals unnecessarily does not attack the city people. So these are the restrictions given to a king, even for hunting. Similarly, a jiva is given restrictions, or he is given allowance for sense gratification. Similarly, the jiva is allowed enjoyment of the sense objects as much as necessary, but not to the fullest extent. So like that. The sense gratification is allowed by Vedic literatures, but with certain cautionary notes, not indiscriminately. So this is the verse and explanation. I have taken some notes from 11th canto. There is a special discussion on this topic in the 11th canto. So especially this one. The jiva is allowed enjoyment of the sense objects as much as necessary, but not to the fullest extent. Why and how? How much is allowance is given? Why that allowance only given? Why not more? Why not less? Some notes from 11th canto. But is it clear? The 6 rules are clear? You are able to understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
What is
Prabhuji.
what is happening around us is like they are opening lot of shops, meat shops, and people are simply purchasing. For them, purchasing meat is like purchasing milk or purchasing vegetables. But
Yes,
this is
Prabhuji.
how the meat eating is regulated in the past. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, somebody is saying something?
Yes, Prabhu, you said this Shraddha rites. It is
Hmm.
referred to Pitru Bhaksha 5 days or a whole year, that is Amavasya day only.
Every Amavasya. In the Pitru Paksha also, the Pitru Amavasya, Mahalaya Amavasya, only important day, not the 15 days.
Okay, Prabhu.
So in the other days, you can include the Pitru, the other extra special days, na? Like in the Pitru Paksha also, not every day, but few days. See, one does not offer all the 15 days. Only one of the 15 days, only one offers. So, but there could be few additional exceptions also throughout the year, which may be good for performing Shraddha rites, can be allowed. So like that. But not for everyone, not for Brahmanas, not for Vaishyas, only for Kshatriyas. That also one should be important. So any other devotee has any question in this verse?
Prabhuji, why it is only Amavasya, Prabhuji? Actually, the day somebody passed away, that day only should be done as Shraddha ceremony.
But normally, I think we have not come to 5th canto. We'll discuss this elaborately in the 5th canto.
Okay.
It is said that normally people live dharmic life. After death, they may go to Pitraloka. I mean, according to today's circumstances, it may not be possible, but at least thinking in a positive note, those who follow positive, a proper bona fide life, they might have gone to Pitraloka. So Amavasya is the noon time for the Pitraloka residents, that is their lunch time. So when you offer something during Amavasya, during the Amavasya time, it is the lunch time that will be honored by the Pitru Devatas. So that is how, but that doesn't mean that we can offer meat and all. We should be offering Vishnu Prasad, so that they will be delivered from that place. But for Kshatriyas, on certain times, if they want, if they have eagerness to hunt or if they have eagerness to eat meat, it is allowed to do this particular activity on the Amavasya day, which is actually the noon time of the Pitur Devatas, who are also Kshatriyas. The Kshatriya is performing Shraddha rites only for the Kshatriya father only, na? So in that way, for them little allowance is given, but not for everyone. So like that.
Okay. So this meat offering is only for Kshatriyas.
Only for Kshatriyas on certain occasions who follow Dharma. The Dvijas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, these three people in general circumstances are not at all allowed to eat meat. But Kshatriyas are given some allowance because they need to keep training themselves. That is possible by hunting. Of course, they can train themselves in their training academy in their kingdom also. But once in a while, in the kingdom, in the training academy, it is a predictable training. But in hunting, it is unpredictable. How the animal escapes, you cannot predict. So this is kind of unpredictable training. For that, hunting is recommended. But after hunting, the hunted animal can be offered in Shraddha. It is not that always the king want to eat meat, but if at all king want to eat meat, this is the procedure. But when the animal is hunted, at least they should be given in Shraddha rites. After Shraddha rites, the leftover can be offered to somebody else who want to eat meat. Not necessarily king should be eating. If king want to eat, this is the process recommended. But not that every time every king should be desiring to eat. So there is so many conditions also there. Hunting is not a sense gratificatory activity. Hunting is actually a training activity. So like that.
Activity.
And the meat eating is allowed for other than the dvijas. Only if they want to. That is also certain occasions, not normally. Those who cannot restrict their senses, certain times some allowance is given, but not like every Sunday. At least in the past, people used to have every Sunday. When I'm child, people think that okay, today some Sunday is coming, so let us have something special in the home. Something like they would think. But nowadays, I don't think so. Any discrimination, Sunday, Monday discrimination, I don't think. At least in my childhood in the villages, people not touch the weekdays. Every day they would say that today this vrata, today Mangalavar vrata, Guruvar vrata, Shanivar vrata, Shukravar vrata. So they would never touch. They would only touch on Sunday. But nowadays I don't see any such discrimination. So things are deteriorating as Kali Yuga progresses. Of course. But in the past, only Amavasya, not every day. Only on Amavasya, only after offering Shraddha rites, they would consume meat. That too, especially the Kshatriyas are the fourth and fifth Varnas, not the Brahmanas and Brahmana, Kshatriyas and Vaishya. These three Varnas should never eat meat. So now, some notes from the 11th canto. So in relation to these things, why are sex life and meat eating are condemned if they are prescribed in the Vedas? The question here, Puranjana gave up Puranjani, his wife, and took another wife and went for hunting. Hunting is analogous to associating with women and killing animals for eating meat. So this is from 11th canto, chapter 5, text number 11. So it is mentioned here, Loke Vivayamisha Madhya Seva Nitya hi Jantor Nahi Tatra Chodana Vyavastitisteshu Vivaha Yajna Sura Grahair Asu Nivrittirisha Ishta. In this world, especially in Bharatavarsha, the land of karma, karma bhumi, there are certain rules and regulations are presented. What are they? In this world, people are always attracted to sex, meat eating, and intoxication. So here, Vyavaya, Amisha, and Madhya Seva. Madhya is Madhyapana Seva, intoxication. Amisha is meat eating. Vyavaya is sex life. This is not a rule in the scriptures, but there is an arrangement through marriage and sacrifice. So the sex life is restricted through marriage, meat eating and intoxications are restricted through sacrifice, so that they can eventually give up these activities. The regulations are given for those uncontrolled people. Regulations are given so that they are allowed to do these things in a controllable way. Eventually, one day they will give it up. So that is understanding. It is said, Rutau Bharyam Upeyat. One should approach one's wife in her season. This is from Shrauta Sutra. It is also said, Huta Shesham Bhakshayet. One should eat the remnants of a sacrifice. So that means indirectly, the association with women is allowed for begetting children, which is possible after menstrual period. So in that way, it is indicated. So in that way, sex life, meat eating, and intoxication are always attractive and always indulged in. Sex is natural and meat eating and intoxication are indulged in because of family tradition. So people say that intoxication and meat eating a family tradition. Jab relatives come, we need to have gala time. We need to have meat and intoxication. For people say that this is the way we extend our love and affection to our relatives. Whenever some relative come, that's all. There is gala time with meat and intoxication. That's what they say. So this is how people say. But there is thus the need of an injunction for attaining these items. But scriptures say yes, they may be required, but with certain conditions, certain restrictions, one should follow. But it is seen in the Vedas that there are orders to indulge in sex. Arrangements have been made for sex, meat eating, and intoxication through wedding and sacrifice. If it is impossible to remain without sex, meat, or intoxication, arrangements are made through marriage and sacrifice. Shruti says, Sautra Manyunam Sura Graham Grahanti. One drinks liquor in the Sautra Mani sacrifice. If at all one want to have liquor, perform Sautra Mani Yajna, then accept liquor. Only after performing this yajna, the liquor acceptance is allowed. Not regularly, not whenever one want, not just by visiting a bar shop and want whatever one can. No. If you want to have liquor, perform Sautra Mani sacrifice and take it. Permission alone is given for these acts. So it is actually not an order or vidhi. It is not a rule that one should do compulsory. If at all one cannot control, if at all one want to have liquor, only certain times in a year it is allowed to take liquor only after performing Sautra Mani sacrifice. Because to perform Sautra Mani sacrifice, there is a lot of endeavor, lot of hard work is there. So first time one may go through all this endeavor to have liquor. Second time one may go, third time one may go. Later on they say that what is the use of having this liquor? If for liquor we need to do work so hard to perform Sautra Mani sacrifice, it is better to give up desire to have liquor instead of endeavoring through perform Sautra Mani sacrifice. Like that one will give it up. So it is not a vidhi or order. It is an exception. So like that we should understand. The reason is the goal of life is extinction of sex, eat and meat eating. Sorry. The goal of life is extinction of sex life, meat eating and intoxication. Not to increase them. That's why the restrictions and rules and regulations are given. If one cannot control, follow in a restricted way. Not completely. Not indiscriminately doing. So like that. So this is how the 11th canto indicates. Of course, it is not stopped there. So it is continued further. There is one scripture called Tantra Vartika, written by Kumara Leela. So this is basically Vartika means a commentary on grammar. Patanjali wrote grammar, Patanjali Sutras. A commentary upon that given by Kumara Leela Bhatta is known as Tantra Vartika. In that it says, Vidir Atyantam Apraptau Niyama Pakshike Asati. Tatra Chanyatra Cha Praptau Parisankhya Vidiyate. There are three types of rules are given in the Vedic literatures. What are they? The first one is Vidhi, second one is Niyama, third one is Parisankhya. Vidhi is a rule that cannot be established except the scriptural statement itself. Whatever is said in the scripture, that is called Vidhi. We cannot create Vidhi on our own. Society wants it, let us create a Vidhi. No. Society cannot create a Vidhi. Vidhi only created by scriptures. Second one. A Vidhi that favors one alternative over others is called a Niyama. So there is only one and only one statement. Only do this. That is called a Vidhi. There is a alternative. Okay, ye karo, ye nahi kar sakte to ye karo, ye nahi kar sakte to ye karo. Like a gradation of statements are given. They are called Niyama. They are also scriptural statements. A Vidhi is called Parisankhya when it specifies one among different alternatives. So the previous one is giving an alternative. One is giving many alternatives. Ye nahi kar sakte, ye karo, ye nahi sakte, ye kar sakte, like that, like that. The second one is one alternative is there, and many alternatives is third one. So in that way. So we can say that vidhi should be done by everyone. Niyama should be done by according to one's varna and ashrama. Because if Brahmana should do something and Kshatriya will be able to follow something like that. And Parisankhya is even Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra also in certain conditions there is some exception. So that is called Parisankhya. So meat eating comes in Parisankhya. Vidhi is one should not eat meat only. But Parisankhya is, yeah, if one is not able to do it, in certain conditions one is allowed to. Thus, where there are conditions within the obligatory rule, it is called Parisankhya. So where there are some exceptions, not always. The Vidhi is 24/7 throughout the year, no eating meat. But Parisankhya is certain times, if one is not able to control, certain times one is allowed. Like for begetting children is allowed at certain times, and meat eating is allowed certain times after hunting and Amasya days. Drinking liquor is allowed after performing Sautramani sacrifice. It's like that. Not always. Some regulations are given. An example is given. One should eat 5 types of animals with 5 nails. If at all one want to eat meat, first of all one should go to forest, one should hunt, offer them into Shraddha, then eat their meat. But which kind of animals? Only 5 animals with type 5 nails, not all the animals. 5 forest animals with 5 nails. In the third canto, we saw so many animals. Ekashapa, Dvishapa, and Panchanaka. Third canto, 10th chapter, we saw this. When Brahma creating different species, some animals are created with Ekashapa. I mean, that their feet is only one portion, one complete unanimous portion, like horse and camel, etc. And Dvishapa, no, not horse, the camel. The Dvishapa means the feet is divided to 2 parts, like cow. No, horse is one only. Cow, buffalo, goat are into 2 parts. The feet is divided to 2 parts. Panchanaka means the feet have 5 nails, like cats, dogs, tigers, lions, etc. So the 5 animals, 5 animals with 5 nails only should be killed. Not every animal. When one has a desire to eat meat, one should only eat 5 animals with 5 nails and not other animals. This is a permission to eat meat under those conditions, but there is no fault in not eating meat. Actually, eating meat is a parisankhya. It is not a vidhi or niyama. Vidhi and niyama should be followed by everyone. Vidhi meant for everyone. Niyama we can say varna specific, but parisankhya is under certain circumstances and conditions for those who cannot control, we cannot follow vidhi and niyama throughout the year. It's like that. Thus, Parisankhya is a rule other than Vidhi, giving permission where there is a desire, where there is no self-control. When one has a desire to eat meat, eating 5 types of animals with 5 nails is prescribed. Other animals should not be eaten. Eating them produces sin. Eating other animals will produce sin. And eating these 5 animals also produce sin. For eating meat, 5 animals with 5 nails are permitted, no sin incurred in doing that. On those days, not always. The conclusion of scripture is that meat eating is limited, since it gives permission for certain meat only. Thus it is limited. So this is from 11th verse. So this is described in the 11th verse. And the same chapter, 13th verse says something more. What is that? Liquor is to be consumed by smelling, and animals' limbs are cut during sacrifice, but they are not killed. Sex is permitted for producing children, not for enjoyment. The people do not know this purification of their duties. This is how one should purify one's duties, one's execution of activities. Permission for sex, meat, and liquor is not for full indulgence, but rather the opposite, only for the purpose of purification. Smelling liquor is considered to be drinking it. Even after Sautramani sacrifice, even though there is a rule that one should accept liquor, some people may accept liquor, but others in general, they should only smell and keep it aside. Smelling is as good as drinking. So Sautramani sacrifice is also supposed to be performed by every king. For example, Pandavas want to perform Sautramani sacrifice. After performing the sacrifice, one of the rule is that one should drink the liquor. But Pandavas being devotees, how will they drink liquor? So what is the alternate? Smell. Smelling is also as good as drinking. For normal Kshatriyas, they smell and keep it aside. But those Kshatriyas who are desirous of drinking liquor, they can drink only after performing Sautramani sacrifice. And one does not drink as much as one can. Not that one should drink up to the neck. No, that is not. Drink just something. Sacrifice of an animal means to cut a limb, not to kill it completely. And sex is for producing children, not for enjoyment. So this is how the restrictions are given. The next verse, the same 11th canto 5th chapter 14th verse. So it says, those sinful persons who are ignorant of actual religious principles yet consider themselves to be completely pious, without compassion, commit violence against innocent animals who fully trust them. They will be eaten by the same creatures in their next lives. But others, they say that, oh, scriptures are saying perform this yajna, that yajna, you can kill this animal, that animal. If somebody does without compassion, somebody kills these animals without compassion, the animals will wait for their death. In the next life, they become animal, the animals become human, and they will kill these people. So that is what will happen. They do not know the dharma described in the scriptures. Not understanding the meaning of the statements like violence is prescribed by scriptures. The violence prescribed by scriptures is not violence. They kill living animals. So, because scriptures may say that, okay, hunting is allowed, yajna killing animals is allowed under certain circumstances. They say that, oh, scriptures are saying I can do. No, not like that. Even the violence allowed in the scriptures is not exactly animal violence. Here the animal's limbs are cut, not completely killing. Even in yajna, a limb of an animal is cut, not the animal is completely killed. That is niyama. So one may not see that. The parisankhya is, if you want to eat meat, the animal can be killed completely, then offered in Shraddha rite, then you can eat meat. But normal yajna, the one of the limb of the animal is cut and left it aside. It becomes handicapped, something like that. So in that way. But here what is happening? Not understanding the meaning of the statements like violence prescribed by scripture is not the violence. They kill living animals. The animals think our protectors will not kill us. They are playing with us by showing weapons as a joke. For example, in the villages, people take care of the goats, sheep, hens, the animals, the pet animals. They think that our master is very friendly to us, he's taking care of us, he will take care of us for the entire life. They will never ever think that our master is taking care of us one day to kill us and eat us. The animal will never think like that. Animals are friendly with us. They always think that our master is very friendly to me, is very compassionate to me, he will take care of me until my death. But on the other hand, having giving faith to the animal they protected, the master kills them. Such a master, after death, in the next life, the animals will eat them. Today, the master is eating the animal. In the next life, the animal will become the master and the master will become the animal. The master will eat the animal. That is the meaning of mamsa. The scriptures say, mamsa bhakshayitamutra yasya mamsam ihadmi aham. Etan mamsasya mamsatvam pravadanti manishina. The wise say that meat is called mamsa because in the next life I will eat the flesh of he who has eaten me. Mamsaha. In this life, I am eating you because I am not able to control my tongue, and I'll promise you that in the next life, may you eat me. Mamsaha. What you are now, I'll become the same in the next life, and what you are, what I am now, you will become that in my next life. That is the meaning of Mamsaha. You will become me, and I will become you in our next life. That is the promise one gives at the time of killing an animal. That is called Mamsa, or at the time of eating a meat product. That is the technical meaning of Mamsa. Mamsam iha admi aham. The same thing is mentioned in Mahabharat. Mahabharat, out of 18 parvas, 13th parva, 117th chapter, 34th verse says this. Somebody can trace back what is the 13th parva in Mahabharat. Out of 18 parvas, what is the 13th parva? I suppose it must be Anushasana parva or something like that. There only this must have come. Same verse with little bit difference. It is there. Narada, by his powers of yoga, showed Barisha the animals he had sacrificed. Same thing we also discussed in the beginning of this chapter, previous chapter, 7th and 8th verses. O protector of the people, O king, look at these animals, thousands of jivas killed by you in sacrifice without mercy. Remembering how you killed them, the animals are waiting for you to die. With great anger, they will tear you apart with their horns made of iron. In the next life, they will tear you apart because you killed them mercilessly. Like that, Narada Muni was telling to Prachinabari in the beginning. So, like that. And the last verse from the 11th canto, that is 15th verse, here it is said, because somebody, the uncontrolled people kill animals for meat or hate others, they hate the Supreme Lord. They are attached to their bodies and the bodies of their relatives. Such people fall to hell. So, for the purpose of meat eating, we hate animals and we hate the Paramatma inside those animals. So, we are simply hating the Supreme Lord. Animal killing and meat eating means hating the Supreme Lord directly, proportional. And such a person that does the animal killing and meat eating is being attached to one's own body and for the bodies of one's own relatives. Such people all together will go to hell. This is, I am not telling, Bhagavatam 11th canto, chapter 5, text number 15 is telling. If somebody around us, if they question, hey, what is the problem in meat eating? It is as simple as eating vegetarian vegetables. They say also, meat eating animal is killed and vegetable eating plants are killed. So what is the difference? So we can use these references. These verses can be a helpful to discuss with such people. Okay, is it clear till now? Hare Krishna. I'm sorry for adding so many notes. Today morning only, while preparing for the class, I remembered these verses from 11th canto. I just added them here, hoping to give some additional information.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हाँ Baruch.
प्रभु जी, हाँ, ये सौत्रामणि सैक्रिफाइस क्या होता है प्रभु?
I also don't know some sacrifice in which one of the injunction is one should accept the liquor.
Okay.
Some Vedic sacrifice for some it may be Naimitika ritual. Once in a while it can be performed, something like that. Some may perform, some may not perform. But in that, the liquor drinking is allowed. That's all.
Hare Krishna,
Other
Prabhuji.
devotees? Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, you said that animal killing is equal to hating the Lord. So I just was thinking about the mosquitoes, or some insects hits on us and we mercilessly kill them. So this is, I always think about that. What is that, Prabhuji? Because
Same.
then they also have the Paramatma inside their heart. and
Hmm.
everything is there. But then for
Hmm.
our protection, we do it.
Hmm.
So what about that? Can you just comment on that?
I mean, see, what I'm going to tell is not a practical thing, it is philosophical understanding. How practically we have to implement, we have to find out our own ways. But the simple understanding is just like Paramatma is residing in our body, in our heart, Paramatma is also residing in the body of insects or animals. And the Paramatma was supposed to stay in that particular body for a certain time period. If by killing that body, we are telling the Paramatma to leave that place. It is like the deity is there in the temple, and by destroying the temple, we are telling the deity, leave the temple and go elsewhere. This is a philosophical understanding.
Mhm.
Now, for our practical protection, there are different measures we can take. Keep the home clean so that the insects will not come. Even though if insects will come, shoo them off. In the sense, what you can say, clean it without hurting the animals, and then so that they'll go away. Or keep some repellents by which the animals does not, that insects does not come close to us. They'll go out far distant. They'll feel afraid of coming here. In spite of all these things, if animals are killed, second canto, second canto, first chapter, second verse talks about this. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nunam Santi Sasrasha Apashata Matatatam Gruheshu Gruhamedinam. So one meaning of Gruhamedi is those who unavoidably perform 5 sinful activities. They can't avoid, it will be done. Like what are the 5 sinful activities? According to Shastra, Jadu, Matka, Chekki, Sigdi, and other things are there. In our home for cooking, we use Sigdi, stove. So during that time, some insects are killed because of that fire. At least traditionally thinking that is wooden fire, not our gas
Yeah.
stove, the wooden thing, because it is very big, very huge. Lot of insects can be killed. And matka, water pot, and jadu, brooming. When we broom, we kill a lot of ants and other insects. While brooming only, in the brooming only, the animals are getting killed. We cannot avoid. We cannot wait for the ant to leave the home, and that may not be practical. Sometimes it happens. But the immediate remedy shown by the scriptures is these 5 things. Hare Krishna, who is that? So, since we cannot avoid these 5 things, we have to. We have to cook, we have to take water in the pot, we have to broom for the cleaning the home, and we have to grind the floor. All these things unavoidably killing some insects, etc. So, what is the solution? Panchasuna Yajna. They are Deva Yajna, Rushu Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Nru Yajna, Pitru Yajna. Especially in relation to other animals, Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna means at certain times we are unavoidably killing some animals, but Bhuta Yajna is basically feed them. Wherever possible, feed the animals. Provide them some food so they will not disturb us, they will not come our home. Like cheaty, they'll come inside the home searching for food. Give them some food outside the home, they'll go there where the food is there, they'll not come inside the home. Something like that. So Bhuta Yajna means feeding the other animals other than the human beings. For human beings, Nru Yajna, Ati Devo Bhava. For Pitrus, offering Shraddha rites. For Devatas, performing fire sacrifices. For Rishis, Rishi Yajna, studying the scriptures and following and preserving and propagating for the next generation. Like that, Panchasuna Yajnas are described. All these details are elaborately explained in the 7th canto. So when we read 7th canto, we can get to discuss all these things elaborately. So that's how. This is what
Okay,
Bhagavatam
Prabhuji.
says. Mm.
Mhm. Okay, yeah.
Any
Thank you.
other devotee has any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
When the animal is killed and it is taking next birth as the vice versa and they finish, then the karma ends there or it continues?
For one animal, karma ends there.
Hmm.
But if one kills many animals, so many times it will be repeated.
If he kills 100 animals,
100 times it will be repeated. 100 lives it will go on like that.
Hare Krishna.
It is simple, na? We kill one GV, so for that GV we have to reciprocate. If we have killed second GV kill reciprocation hoga. Like that, as many number of GVs we have harmed, that many number of times reciprocation will take place.
Bapre. Hare Krishna.
That's why people, I mean, a knowledgeable person will say that why I need to get into this karmic bondage. Let me not have only. So it is simple. So no meat eating, no need to get into that species. Even that same karmic principle can be applied for vegetables also. The vegetable plants also. We are taking so many rice grains from rice plant. We need to reciprocate by becoming rice plant and producing that many rice grains.
Hare Krishna.
That can be avoided by eating Krishna Prasad. If we eat Krishna Prasad, we don't have to, because Lord Vishnu is responsible for maintenance. He has to maintain us. How? By providing food. But there is a proper bona fide way. By eating Krishna Prasad, we are free from karma. Because Lord has to maintain us. Lord has taken the responsibility to maintain us. So He is giving us this kind of provision where we are not bound by the reaction. So like
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, that animal which is sacrificed, so he gets the human life, no? So
No,
what is
see again, don't put sacrifice. Just you kill. When animal is killed for sense gratification, gets the reverse birth. But animal which is sacrificed in a bona fide sacrifice, what happens? I don't know. According to Shastra, what is the efficacy of the sacrifice? Accordingly, they will get destiny.
Oh, acha. Okay, Prabhuji. I thought the sacrificed animal gets the higher or human birth. I thought like
Yes,
that.
it depends on the efficacy of the sacrifice. For what
How
purpose the sacrifice is
mantra is
performed. If Prachina Bari is kind of thing,
okay.
so we don't know.
Because you were telling ke sacrifice means not killing but only cutting the limbs. That is so cruel, na? Compared to matlab we are sacrificing animal because both of us will get the benefit. The one who is doing sacrifice and the animal also. But cutting the limbs means cruelty, na? I thought like that.
No, you are not killing the animal. It only becomes handicapped. It is like some what you can say. We are taking some favor from them, something like that. See, making someone handicapped or killing someone completely, which is better of the two?
If the one who is getting killed is getting higher birth, then it is better, ना? मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है
But
प्रभु जी.
are you guaranteeing the higher birth?
No, that I don't know.
Then how?
Because that's what is said, what it is said ki you
See,
can
wait. We are not talking about yajna. Our context, ask the question according to the context. Yajna is an entirely different thing. When the king does the yajna, Ashwamedha yajna, etc., that time the hearts will get higher birth. That is all accepted. But what is the context here? We are discussing about meat eating and hunting. So in that relation, you see.
Okay, Prabhuji. Got it.
So in yajna, one animal is killed not for the purpose of meat eating. Dasharat Maharaj also performed Ashwamedha yajna. Not for the purpose of eating the horse. Okay, but our context is in relation to eating meat.
Okay, Prabhuji, I got it. Thank you.
You don't go out of the context. Don't combine all things.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, right now, Haripriya Swamini Mataji had asked about like we unintentionally or even intentionally kill many insects in the home. So like during pest control and all, thousands of in fact cockroaches and so many insects get killed. So it means that for thousands, I mean, that many times, I feel this is like, then will we have to take birth again and again as those
See,
insects?
if one does just like that, one need to go through karmic cycle. First of all, sorry to say this, it is our own negligence in not able to clean our premises properly, and we are allowing them to come inside. And in the name of keeping them clean, we are mercilessly killing them. That is our wrong. First of all, our wrong. And second thing, even though in spite of being vigilant, in spite of keeping everything clean, still these insects are coming, and we are forced to, not intentionally, but forced to kill them. The remedy given by scriptures is keep performing Panchasuna Yajnas. Among them is Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna is for animals, insects, and everything. So feed them. Outside, feed them. Keep feeding other entities. And when we unknowingly or unexpectedly, forcefully something happens, that can be nullified. Here we are not doing just because we want to do it for pleasure or something like that. We are forced to do it. So we don't want to, and we should feel regret. In order to atone for that, we need to feed animals regularly, and animals, plants regularly, etc. Other living entities, other species other than human beings. That is called Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna means feeding them.
Okay.
So like that.
Thank you.
Seventh canto describes all these things clearly. Those interested, you can read seventh canto chapter 13, 14, I think 14, 15 only, not even 13, 14 and 15. These two chapters are good enough to understand all these things. So like that.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Quickly, jaldi. We need to cover 2 more verses. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Now this you said about sacrifice of Ashwamedha. In Prabhupada's purpose, 7th canto, it is there that they revive. The moment the sacrifice is done, the animal is revived. That was the power of. But now what they do, it is slaughtering of animal. So this is karma.
Now no one is doing Ashwamedha sacrifice now.
No, not about Ashwamedha. They are killing the animal for. So many people are killing goat and all, or that Lakshmi Devi
That is not
and
even
all.
karma. That is completely papa. That is sin.
That is yes. Thank you, Hare Krishna. I just wanted to.
Here, meat eating is allowed for who are not Dvija. For Dvija, it is outrightly not allowed. That is, Vidhi says outrightly Dvija should not eat meat. But among the Dvijas, Parisankhya says Kshatriyas are allowed sometimes on 12 Amavasyas and 6 more exception days. We can say 18 days in a year, they are allowed. That too, going to forest and hunting 5 animals themselves, then performing Shraddha rites, and then they can accept meat. It's like that.
Hare Krishna.
Not always. And others who are not Dvija, they may be allowed also certain times, not always. So what is that is not described here? We are talking about Puranjana with the king. The king related dharmic instructions are given. For others, what are the dharmic instructions? We may need to read Mahabharata or 7th canto Bhagavatam. There we may understand when it is allowed for others, if it all given. So like that. So for Yajna, what happens? That is a different thing. There they don't eat. They don't eat the meat of horse or anything. That is not said. They only smell. Just like liquor. Smelling is also as good as drinking. Same way, smelling the meat which is thrown into fire is also as good as eating. Because some yajna may say one should eat the phala prasada, the yajna prasada. So smelling also is as good as eating. If you smell and leave it, that's all. No need to eat. That not that every king has to eat. So some kings may want to eat, they may eat, but otherwise they should not eat. So like that, say there are so many rules and regulations are there. We don't know so much because we don't read, we don't refer to all these things so much. For us, because just by having one thing, we are free from all such confusion. Eat Krishna Prasada, nothing, that's all. So we don't have to worry about all these rules and regulations, when to eat, when not to eat, all forget it, all those things. First of all, we are not Kshatriyas. So we don't have to worry about all these things. So in that way, our life is easy simply by eating Krishna Prasad. So any other question? Okay, we'll quickly cover because there is a mention about 5 animals. Which are the 5 animals? Somebody must have. I was expecting that. Nobody is asking that question. Which are the 5 animals are allowed by a king to be killed? So that is given in the next verse. Let us see. Yaevam karma niyatam
एवं कर्म नियतं
vidvan kurveta manavaha
विद्वान् कुर्वीत मानवः
karmana tena rajendra
कर्मणा तेन राजेन्द्र
jnanena salipyate.
ज्ञानेन स लिप्यते. Translation. Narada Muni continued to speak to King Prachina Barishat. My dear king, any person who works according to the directions of the Vedic scriptures does not become involved in fruitive activities.
O king, any learned person who acts according to regulations is never contaminated by that action which arises from knowledge. So what is the meaning of this? One is not contaminated by that action arising from knowledge. One who knows the Shastra properly, one who follows the Shastra, even because Shastra gives some exceptional allowances. If one follows that, one is not bound by karma. For a king, on the day of Amasya, going to forest, hunting these 5 animals, offering Shraddha rites, if such a person eats the meat, he is not bound by Papa. That is not Papa. That is a Vedic activity. Otherwise, it is a Papa. So like that. Anyata karma kurvano.
Anyata karma kurvano
Mana rudo nibadhyate.
mana rudo nibhadyate
Guna pravaha parito.
guna pravaha parito patito
Nashta prajno vrajatyada.
nashta prajno vrajatyada. Otherwise, a person who acts whimsically falls down due to false prestige. Thus, he becomes involved in the laws of nature, which are composed of the 3 qualities: goodness, passion, and ignorance. In this way, a living entity becomes devoid of his real intelligence and becomes perpetually lost in the cycle of birth and death. Thus, he goes up and down from the microbe in stool to a high position in Brahmaloka planet.
If he performs unregulated activities, he then thinks himself the doer and becomes bound by those actions. Falling under the influence of gunas, he loses his intelligence and sinks down. But otherwise, if one keeps doing, I know better than you, what do you know, what Shastra knows, all these things, then such a person is bound by karmic reactions. If one breaks the rules because of lack of purity in the antakarana, one begins to think of himself as the doer. He then becomes bound by the actions. Then he falls under the influence of the gunas and goes downwards. Spiritually speaking, this verse describes the jiva's enjoyment of objects forbidden by the scriptures. If we accept those objects which are forbidden by the Shastra, so there is a discussion about dharma and adharma. What is dharma? What is adharma? What is dharmic hunting and adharmic hunting? Afterwards, now the story continuing. So what did the king do? What did the Puranjana do? Tatra nirbinna gatranam
तत्र निर्विघ्न गात्राणां
chitravajai silimukai
चित्रवाजैशिलीमुखै
viplavo buddhukitanam
विप्लवो भूद् दुःखितानां
dussaha karunatmanam.
दुस्साह karunaatmanah. When King Puranjana was hunting in this way,
Many animals within the forest lost their lives with great pain, being pierced by the sharp arrow heads. Upon seeing these devastating, ghastly activities performed by the king, all the people who were merciful by nature became very unhappy. Such merciful persons could not tolerate seeing all this killing.
This killing of animals who suffered with limbs pierced, that hunting, na? When you shoot the arrow, it pierces one part of the body, there is a lot of pain. Before the animal was offered in the sacrifice, the Pitru Yajna, the Shraddha rites, it is going through that pain only. This killing of animals who suffered with limbs pierced by his feathered arrows in the forest was unbearable for those with compassion. For a compassionate devotee, it is unbearable to see how a king is hunting and piercing the animals, and animals are going through intense pain. Just like Nardamuni was unbearable to this pain experienced by the half-killed animals by Mrugari. So like that. The killing by arrows was unbearable. The hint.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
No voice.
Unable to hear.
No, now you are able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, Prabhuji. Now okay.
The hint of Narda is committing sin such as violence by senses filled with various faults is intolerable for persons like us with compassion. Because Narda Muni was informed that Prachina Barhi, coming in the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj and Prithu Maharaj, is performing so many sacrifices, indiscriminately killing animals. Just he heard it and he felt so much pain in his heart. So many animals are purposelessly killed. He immediately came to Prachinabari and is telling that just like a person hunting animals in the forest without compassion is equal to you killing animals in the yajna, in the name of yajna, without compassion. Therefore, I am telling you here. So, what are the 5 animals which are allowed to be killed in the hunting? Here is it. Sheshan, Varahan, Maishan.
Shashan, Varahan, Mahishan,
Gavayan, Durushalyakan.
Gavayan, Durusalyakan,
Medyan, Anyamsha, Vividan.
Medyan, Anyamscha, Vividan,
Vinignan, Vinignan, Shramamad Adyagat.
Vinignan, Shramamathyagat. In this way, King Puranjana killed many animals, including rabbits, boars, buffalo, bison, black deer, uh, porcupines, and other game animals. After killing and killing, the king became very tired.
So, what are the 5 animals which are allowed for hunting? After killing rabbits, boars, buffaloes, wild cows, antelopes, and porcupines, suitable for Shraddha rites, the king Puranjana became tired. He became tired. The jiva with some tendencies of dharma by good fortune may repent after committing sins for some time. The king became tired means अभी थक गया. That means after performing sin one understand oh मैं क्या गलती कर दिया. Then one becomes vigilant. That is the understanding of this king becoming tired. But what are the 5 animals which are allowed for Shraddha rites and then can be eaten afterwards by kings are rabbits in the forest. Rabbits मिलता नहीं, वो भागते रहते हैं, उनको चेस करके hunting करना पड़ेगा. Boars, the wild boars, and wild buffaloes, and wild cows, wild antelopes, and wild porcupines. These are the 5 animals with seems to be with the 5 nails. They can be hunted, they can be offered in Shraddha, and they can be eaten afterwards. by kings. Hare Krishna. This is the Shastric injunction. Shastra never allows anybody to eat home the household animals like goats, hens, chickens, etc., etc., sheep, and many unmentionable things of the
Prabhuji,
West. Hmm.
wild cows means the nilgai which we see in the fields.
I don't know. Wild cow is called as Gavaya. Gavaya, Ruru, Shellika. What is Gavaya? I don't know. What do you? Wild
In the
cows, there may be
villages,
some name. Hmm.
yeah, in the
Yes, yes, there
villages,
are
we see,
Neil guys in this
yeah,
way.
nil guys. So they are like,
Yes, yes,
they
Mataji.
are not like cows. Their necks are very long and they run very
No,
fast.
no. We are talking about the forest animals. They cannot be in the village.
No, they
Yes,
are not in
Prabhuji.
the villages,
Neil guy is
Prabhuji. They
in
are in the
forest area.
forest
Okay.
areas.
Maybe that is called as Gavaya. So could be. I don't know, but it could be. Of course, they should be running fast. Then only there will be chasing and hunting, na. Otherwise, if it is standing at one place, if you throw arrows, what is the that is not at all dharmic. So,
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Today I asked for that book in the temple,
uh,
but because of rain and all, I could not able to
uh-huh.
get that heavy rain over here in Mumbai.
No,
So, Prabhuji,
you keep visiting temple, na. Every week you go for boga
yeah,
preparation. That time you
twice
take.
I go. Huh?
That time you
Okay,
take. You
okay,
keep
Prabhuji. So
going
I
there.
can give money over there only. Will do, na? Okay, I have to pay online only.
I have sent you that screenshot. Na, you can do that
Acha, okay,
in
online
the
I can
group.
pay.
See the group messages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that, but I'm just
Wait, wait,
asking you.
wait for the book. Any other questions about this? Any other questions? Other devotees have any questions?
No question, but Prabhuji Mataji was
No,
telling about this
Prabhuji.
Neil guy, na?
Ah,
We are nearly in the forest areas near Pench and all, Prabhuji. So there are such a Neil guy or cow who is like we have seen they run very fast and they are
yeah,
jungly.
maybe
That is
exactly,
what.
maybe same only. I don't know. That's why I cannot identify. So it may be same. So, but whatever the condition is, the forest animals who run fast, so the king has to chase, endeavor, and hunt them. Matlab, it comes by endeavor. It does not come just like by just sitting on the chair and make order and comes. Zomato, Swiggy, not like that. That is completely grass ignorance. So, like that. Okay. If there are no questions from other devotees, but whatever it is, I wanted to discuss a little bit from 11th canto, see, because this is one of the thing, some references are there. When I share slides with you, you can use these references to discuss with people who keep questioning. Especially now, marathon is coming December. When we go out for distribution of Bhagavad Gita, people keep asking such questions. So these things can be useful for debating. Even there is
Exactly,
another
Prabhuji.
there is another exception for others. For Kshatriya, this is the exception. For non-Kshatriyas or non-Dvijas, those who are not from the community of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, other fourth and fifth community, what is the allowance given to them? So for them, the allowance is they may be allowed to eat only black sheep. Not every animal. Black sheep is allowed. The black sheep without even one white mark or any other red mark, only completely black skin should be there. That too on the Amavasya, that too they should take that black sheep to a temple of Durga Devi in the middle of the night at 12 o'clock in the night. They themselves should chant some mantras looking in the eyes of that black sheep or black goat. They should cut the neck of that animal. Seeing the pain the animal going through, then they should cut the meat into 7 parts. 6 parts should be given in charity. Only 1 part should be cooked by them, offered to the deity of Durga. Then they should eat, clean the entire area before sunrise and leave from that place. That means what they have done, no one should know. They should do only in the middle of the night in the Amavasya where there is no moonlight also. Silently, at a far distant, out of village, in a Durga temple, they should do. Not openly, publicly, royally, as if showing off, hey, we are the so great wealthy people and we know how to spend our money lavishly, we know how to enjoy. Not like that. This is the allowance given for the fourth category and fifth category people, the Shudra and Anteja community. And for the Anteja community, the household animals, when they are died, they are allowed to eat the meat of the dead bodies, not killing, not after killing them. So such kind of allowances or exceptions are given in the Vedic literatures. But in Kali Yuga, dharma is considered to be adharma, adharma is dharma. If you say all these things, pagal ho gaye kya aap? Like that people say. That is a norm now in the society. Government rule hunting is prohibited and killing animals is allowed. Killing innocent animals is allowed. That is the rule now. Killing innocent village animals is allowed, but hunting forest animals is prohibited. So, Hare Krishna.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji.
we'll stop
Kali
here.
Yuga.
Kali Yuga. So,